ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Tuesday, December 10th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Let's get that text line going right now. We're going to do that at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I've got a couple of 4-packs of tickets to give away today. I'm going to take you to the Marshall, Ohio game on Saturday. So we've got 2 4-packs to give you today. And, of course, how do you win those? Obviously, you have to text to win. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So we've been following along on social media because that's where all the press conferences happen. That's where all the announcements seem to happen. Rumors of its demise continue to be laughable, as that's where everybody goes right now to make their statements. The transfer portal at this point, it's becoming a joke. Absolutely comical to see college football teams fall apart. It's absurd. And I've even seen a couple of places where a couple of athletic directors are kind of pitching the idea, hey, maybe we need to reform this thing. And, of course, that's because a lot of programs are getting hit by the transfer portal, decimating teams. Look at Marshall University. You have 3 quarterbacks putting names in transfer portal. Colin Parachek has taken his name out of the transfer portal. And so we don't know fully yet. We'll get closer to this bowl game. We'll have a better idea of what the roster is going to look like as the Thundering Herd getting set to take on Army, which I thought was going to be a really, really cool bowl game, prestigious bowl game, playing on Saturday the 28th, getting close to New Year's. I mean, this is probably the most prestigious bowl that Marshall's ever been invited to. And it's been decimated by the transfer portal. This is not the Sun Belt Conference champion Marshall Thundering Herd that will be in attendance facing off against the American champion in Army. So the bowl game is going to be disappointing for a lot of fans, and the transfer portal is the big reason for that. And, of course, we're getting set to introduce a new football coach on Thursday. And hopefully we can have him on the program at least Thursday or Friday. So we plan on being there, or at least bringing you that live, so you can keep it locked right here. So we'll get your text in a few minutes. The big thing we want to talk about today is we want to react to comments that Marshall Athletic Director Christian Spears made today. He went on network radio. Dave Wilson, West Virginia Metro News, had the interview, and we will play the highlights of his interview, and then we'll get your reaction to it at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I'll let you be the judge of what he had to say. I'm gonna hang back on that one. I'm gonna let you be the judge and give you an opportunity to kind of respond to what he said. And if you've heard the interview already, or you've seen highlights of it, a lot of people not happy with Coach Huff after what Athletic Director Christian Spears said. Biggest secret never is all I'm going to say, because we knew from day one that Coach Huff was not long for another job. I know when he was interviewing for the Duke job, he even reached out to me. This was early on in our relationship, and he reached out to me on that. So I knew then that he was already looking. And hey, you find a better opportunity, go ahead, take it. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. And of course, a lot of Herd fans, still maybe, I don't want to say they're snake bitten, but they feel a little betrayal. At least that's the vibe I've been getting. And there's been a lot of nastiness toward players as well that have been entering the transfer portal. And you're going to see a lot of those players, not all of them, but you're going to see a lot of those players end up at Southern Miss with Coach Huff. Coach Huff was even, and someone texted me earlier and said, why is Coach Huff retweeting all of our transfer portal announcements, all the kids that are announcing? I said, because they're probably going to go play for him, is what I told that friend of mine who texted me. And so don't be surprised. You're going to see a lot of those players show up on the Southern Miss roster. And, of course, there's an opportunity for Marshall to go out into the transfer portal and bring a lot of kids in, and we're going to find out how successful Marshall can be post-Coach Huff going into the transfer portal. But we'll get the official introduction of Tony Gibson on Thursday evening. And then we hope to have an opportunity to sit down with him and have a conversation about what he sees as the vision of Marshall football. So this is going to be an interesting rest of the week. Looking forward to it. And we've got basketball tomorrow, by the way, as well. So we'll get into a little bit of that today. We'll hear from Coach Jackson, but we're going to hear comments from Marshall Athletic Director Christian Spears. This is about the process from Coach Huff to Coach Gibson. Then we're going to hear from you, and our text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I'm sweetening the deal today. I've got not one, but two separate 4-packs of tickets to go see the Herd take on Ohio coming up this Saturday. We'll have the broadcast, if you can't make it, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. But we would like to send as many of you as we possibly can to the game. So 4-pack of tickets on the line. You have to text to win, and that's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So let's make some time for our next segment, because I really want to get into this with you. Marshall Athletic Director Christian Spears opting to go on network radio today. He went statewide with his message with Dave Wilson hosting Talkline. We'll hear what he had to say, and we'll get your reaction when we continue on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You just can't stop once you've tried Scraggle Pop. Scraggle Pop kettle corn has become a favorite snack throughout the tri-state area, and they are now expanding beyond. This Christmas season, come visit Scraggle Pop at the Huntington Mall, the Ashland Town Center, Food Fair, and a number of great tri-state retailers. They have an assortment of delicious flavors like cinnamon, caramel, Chicago blend, and of course the original blend of kettle corn that started it all. Grab your favorite kettle corn blend along with a frozen sweet tea, lemonade, or hot apple cider. Take home a beautiful Christmas tin for yourself or as a gift for family and friends. Scraggle Pop also offers many sports team tins for the sports fan in your life. So check them out today at the Huntington Mall or the Ashland Town Center. Scraggle Pop now ships nationwide. Visit their website at scragglepop.com to send your loved ones a tin of their favorite flavor. You just can't stop once you've tried Scraggle Pop. ScragglePopKettlecorn.com.
Score free gifts for the greatest dad this Father's Day at Lowe's. Get a free 8-piece Blackstone accessory kit and soft cover with purchase of a 28-inch flat-top grill. $50 off, now just $248. And get a free select DeWalt, Craftsman, or Cobalt tool with your purchase of a select battery kit. Lowe's knows dads. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're going to hear comments made earlier today from Marshall Athletic Director Christian Spears on Metro News Talk Line in just a moment. We're going to also give you an opportunity to react to what he had to say. Again, the text line is where you make your voice heard this afternoon. Already from the text line, we haven't even played the interview just yet, and texter already said, Paul, Spears waited about 48 hours too long to do this interview. So many Herd fans are frustrated. He needed to get this information out faster and not let people make assumptions about the athletic department and what they did or didn't do. I appreciate the text. Thank you for that. What do you think? Is that texter right? Did the athletic department wait too long to get information out? Are you happy with the way the university and the athletic department communicates with the fans and the media? Make that known right now. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Now, we're going to hear those comments in just a second. One more from the text line. Texter says, Paul, I did listen to the Spears interview today, and what he said pretty much lines up with what a lot of people have posted on the Herd fans' message boards, with one notable exception, that Spears asserts that both parties were completely transparent throughout Huff's stay here. All right, I appreciate that text. For those of you who haven't heard the comments, I've got the highlights. And again, this was courtesy of Metro News earlier today on Statewide Talk Line with Dave Wilson. First up, Athletic Director Christian Spears spoke about the question was, when was it apparent, when this wasn't going to happen with Coach Huff? And I think his opening statement says a lot. It's something that we have known for a long time.
Coach has been interviewing for gigs since day one of his opportunity here at Marshall. When I started the job, 33 months ago, he was in a couple of searches then, and we after the 22 season, we had a spectacular year. We won 9 games, beat Notre Dame. We offered a contract extension, and some people don't appreciate how we guarantee every dollar on one side and expect to have a guarantee on the other side. If you leave us, you're going to owe a buyout, but if you're here and you're with us, we're going to fully guarantee your contract. It's a really fair way of operationalizing an agreement, and for whatever reason, we just couldn't get to an agreement on that. And then we went 6-7 in 23. And, instead of, looking at, hey, let's just buy it out or let's go in a different direction, we took a different tact and we went with an investment strategy versus a buyout strategy. And we invested what we could have paid in the buyout right back into the football program and hired some great people, kept some great people, invested in the coaching salary pool, and then we made an investment in training table. We started to feed every day our student athletes breakfast and lunch, not just our football kids, but all of our kids. And those two strategies alone, created an opportunity to have a championship season. And Coach Huff, to his credit, did a brilliant job under a lot of duress, trying to figure out how to win a championship. And we, as an administrative team, did everything we could to support that. And here we are with a championship season. Coach had an opportunity to get an opportunity that he felt really good about, and we had an opportunity to go get someone who truly wants to be at Marshall.
That last line right there, truly wants to be at Marshall, as he started off that comment by saying it was evident. Coach Huff, day one, I got here, he was already looking for jobs. And I knew that. We all knew that. There were so many jobs that he was linked to. I mean, I start again. I go back to when he was linked to Duke. He actually reached out to me, and I'll keep that, private between us. But I don't have a problem with a coach looking to better himself. But at the same time, you have obligations. You sign a contract, you have obligations. If a better offer comes along, and then you got to listen to it. If you're happy where you're at and another offer comes along, you listen to it. If you're not happy where you're at, you're looking for the next job. I think that's how that works. I'm happy where I'm at. If an offer comes my way, I would be completely open with my boss and say, hey, look, these people have contacted me. I mean, that works in any profession. You want to be professional about it. It's my takeaway. Be professional. If you're happy where you're at, make that job work. If you're not happy where you're at, it's probably best that you do leave. So that's A.D. Spears on when it was apparent that this wasn't going to happen with Coach Huff. Now, on the structure of the negotiations, Athletic Director Christian Spears broke that down a little bit further, kind of giving an outline, a timetable of what that actually looked like. And you heard Coach Huff talk about, hey, I don't like to negotiate during the season. And Spears gives a sort of I don't want to say a different take on that, but in his words, this is what the direction of those negotiations look like.
We agreed at the beginning of the year, let's invest in a meeting structure that allows us to get better, mutually better. There were some things that Coach wanted to see us do, and there were some things that we wanted to see Coach do. So we met 5 times throughout the year, and let's better manage our media interactions. Let's get more involved in the community. Let's be a better steward to how we represent Marshall football, both of us, all of us. Let's just grow together and become really successful and try to build a championship season. And, one of those caveats was let's not, negotiate during the season, and let's not interview for other jobs. And at some point, the schools that reached out to Coach, I think he just felt through his agency that he had to go on those interviews, and he started to do that. And there was a handful of them, and I was made aware all along the way. They were so transparent, and they definitely informed us of their opportunities. And certainly I knew weeks before that Southern Miss was actively pursuing them, and but we had made an agreement that we would wait till the end of the season and that we wouldn't negotiate during the season. We would focus on winning a championship. So that's where we remained. And then it happened. And he had an opportunity, and we were going to move quickly and be prepared for our next coach.
That's the timeline. There were meetings. One of the things that I perked up on quickly was let's better manage our media interactions. Do we go back to that point in Coach Huff's career where he spoke to then WOWK reporter Cassidy Wood and said something to her that she reported, and Herd fans got up in an uproar about it? Talk about there's no NIL money here, and it really incensed a lot of people. He spoke to a member of the media. Maybe that was part of that. Maybe wanted to rein him in a little bit. Hey, you're going to have to do a better job of how you interact with the media. That perked my ear, but that's not the whole. That's not the whole theme of that. Just the structure of the negotiations, but that part right there perked my ear. Just again, to go back to the point that there was a lot of give and take between the university, the athletic department, and Charles Huff. Now, we move on from Charles Huff, and quickly the announcement was made that Tony Gibson would be the coach of the Thundering Herd. Once the news came out that Southern Miss had officially hired Charles Huff, there was sort of a placeholder statement made by Christian Spears on social media, and then there was the announcement that Tony Gibson was named the head coach of the Thundering Herd. And Spears talked about, when he was asked if Tony was the target the entire time. He pretty much said, look, there was a short list, but Tony was the guy.
We narrowed in on a handful of folks, and Tony just seemed to be the one that made the most sense for us. And so, yeah, we zeroed in really quickly once we received word from Southern Miss that they had hired Coach, and we acted quick and decisively and just knew that he would be an unbelievable fit. And, you know, he's already made a great decision. Ralph Street just got announced as remaining on our staff. He's our defensive line coach, a Hurd brother. You know, Ralph has been somebody that has developed some kids. You know, what he was able to accomplish with Mike Green this year, you know, the Sun Belt Player of the Year, not the Defensive Player of the Year, the Player of the Year for the league, was truly exceptional and remarkable. So, you know, really proud that Ralph Street is going to remain and be a part of Coach Gibson's staff. So already making great decisions, and just can't wait for him to get started formally and officially on Thursday.
And, of course, that announcement that Ralph Street has been retained by the athletic department released shortly ago on social media. So Tony Gibson is the guy. It was reported elsewhere that the contract would be 6 years, and Athletic Director Christian Spears confirmed the length of the deal and talked a little bit more about why the structure of the contract, and it kind of gives some insight on what they were trying to do with Coach Huff as well, what the structure of the contract, at least not monetarily, but how it is worked out. We guarantee you this, you guarantee us that. Here's what he had to say about the length of the deal. He said 6 years, 6 seasons.
You know, we got 6 football seasons, and you know, he agreed to the way we like to structure our contracts. So we're 100% in, all in with Coach Gibson, and I know he's all in. And Marshall, his entire family can't wait to get here. You know, he's got real legacy, real history, and you know, West Virginia is critically important to him. And this is where he wanted to be and be a part of this state. This is where he will live, and I know he's building a home, and, you know, I'm just so excited for him and his family to be able to come home and help us continue to have a championship program.
And finally, from Athletic Director Christian Spears, his appearance earlier today on Metro News Talk Line. You can hear that weekdays, 10:06 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The one thing that's got a lot of Herd fans, I think, in an uproar right now, it's the transfer portal. It's ludicrous of how this transfer portal has gotten out of control. And I don't have anything against any player that wants to go and play for a different school. We are past the point where these kids are happy to have a scholarship and they want to play their entire career at a university. You know, they get the educational benefit of going to a university. It's dollars now. I mean, you got kids looking for NIL bonuses for first team and second team and performance bonuses. It's a business now. Absolutely. The amateur athlete is no more. These are young entrepreneurs here. I mean, the majority of these kids are not going to get huge NIL deals, but that's what's out there right now. It's the NIL. It's the transfer portal. How can I better myself? How can I make myself better? How can I put myself in a better situation to continue my football playing career or to get that bag, as the kids would say? So what's the status of Marshall in the Independence Bowl? I don't think they're calling it off, but Mr. Spears, confident that they're going to be able to field a competitive team.
You know, concerned in that it's not going to be our first team, but it's certainly not going to be our scout team either. You know, we're going to have some guys commit and be a part of something really unique. When you get to play a service academy in a national bowl, you know, it's a big deal. So I'm confident we'll have a great representation there and do something. And, you know, Kelly has taken on this interim role. I've seen him grow in the last 48 hours, tremendously excited for him and the way he leads and what he might be able to accomplish in his career. So, you know, we'll pull it together. And this transfer portal isn't anything that everyone isn't dealing with right now. You know, when you break down our 85 scholarships, we had 22 graduating seniors. We had 50 first-year kids and 13 kids that had been in our program for more than a year, right? And, you know, that's just the new modern-day collegiate athletic football enterprise. ULM, I think, had 73 new kids last year. We don't want that, but our new norm is going to be 40 to 50 new student athletes every year because this transfer portal just gives you the ability to be a little bit of a free agent and see what's out there for yourself. We're going to manage it at a high level, and I'm confident Coach Gibson's going to be able to get after it and bring some great kids.
And I'm confident as well. I think Coach Gibson's going to be a great coach. I'm optimistic. That's not the question here, though. The question is, what's this Herd team going to look like come bowl day? Will this team be competitive? Will this team be able to go out there and make itself a strong representation? Be competitive. I think that's what we're asking right now. Can this team go out there and be competitive? I'm not talking about trying to win the game at this point, which is still the goal. It's just, will this team have enough depth to go out there and play this game and make a good showing? I think that's what the concern is for a lot of fans. Let's go to our text line now, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You just heard comments from Marshall Athletic Director Christian Spears, courtesy of Metro News. You can listen to the Talk Line program weekdays, 10:06, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's go to the text line. First up, texter says, Paul, I thought Mr. Spears was honest, serious, and confident. He sounded a little, I don't want to say down, but he's been a lot more upbeat and energetic in previous conversations and interactions. So he did seem a little somber. Maybe that's just the tone of his voice I heard. But yes, he was honest. He seemed honest and earnest, and he seemed serious, and he had answers ready for Dave. But he didn't seem as energetic as he has in past interactions. So I agree with your assessment. 304-396-TALK. Texter says, Paul, in my opinion, I think that Huff didn't want to be here. I agree with that 100%. He did not want to be here. Texter says, he took a step down job or a lateral move at best. Can't wait till he has to come back to Huntington so we can beat them. At least our new coach wants to be here. Go Herd. Appreciate the text. Thank you. Also from the text line, not sure all the do's and don'ts of the transfer portal and the school probably don't want the players back, but is there a time frame where the players can decide to stay at the school? They can take their name out of the portal. Right now it's opening up. They can make it known. They can put themselves in the transfer portal. They can take themselves out. Once we establish the new coaching regime, and you can have those conversations like, hey, look, I know you put your name in the transfer portal. We'd like to have you stick around. You can take your name out of the transfer portal. We're all good. I think the problem here is that the transfer portal is open, and it allows student athletes to make those moves now, right after the regular season ends, right after championship games, and before bowl games. And I think that's where a lot of the hang-up is, that Marshall's not going to have a full complement of players to go out and represent the Thundering Herd and the university at the bowl game. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texture says, Paul, perked your ear up. I'm trying to imagine how this was said. Perked your ear up? Coach Huff cost me $1,000 hearing aid. He wore it out. I'm sorry. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. As you can see, we let most texts get through. Within reason, of course. All right, what'd you think? Did you hear what you wanted to hear? Did you hear what you needed to hear? Do you think he was earnest? You think he was honest in his comments? As one texter alluded to earlier, was it too little too late? Do you believe that there's more to this story? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Here's another Kinder Communications Community Chatter. Tickets on sale for the Boyd County High School Band and Choir Concert coming up Thursday, December 12th at 7 p.m. at the Paramount Arts Center. You can pick up those tickets at ParamountArtsCenter.com.
This Kinder Communications Community Chatter brought to you by Roosters, Pullman Square in Huntington. 40 TVs, hot wings, cold beer, great daily specials. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition, The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You can also find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. Let's go back to our text line. First up, texter says, Paul, Spears was honest, and on the other hand, the way Huff talked and even said that he had not received an extension offer for Marshall was unhonest. Nonetheless, wish him and his family luck, except when his team comes back to Marshall. I appreciate that text. Thank you. And that's absolutely right. You wish him luck. I saw some people on social media get upset that a few people were wishing people the best who were leaving Marshall. We don't want anything bad to happen to them. We want them to be all right. I get it. I understand. I get it. You feel betrayed sometimes, and I wish Coach Huff success, except when the team is facing Marshall. Absolutely. I can live with that and be happy with that statement. Back to our text line. Texter says, Paul, I don't believe Christian Spears 100% because he had Gibson hired before he was hired. There was no coaching search, so that tells you a lot, and it's crazy. They gave him a 6-year deal. So you heard what he said earlier. They're all in on Coach Gibson. If they worked it out, a 6-year deal, they want the security of having a coach for 6 years, and they feel confident in what he's able to do, and maybe that was part of the negotiation. Hey, look, I'll do it for this. I want this amount of guarantee. Whatever those negotiations and that structure was, there's always a buyout. If he's super hot and someone wants him bad enough, there's the buyout. Keep that in mind. Also from the text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. One item that is circulating out there, was there an agreement that Huff wasn't to interview for other jobs during the season, that Huff, Spears, and Smith had shaken hands on? I can play that clip again. Here's Christian Spears on the structure of negotiations.
We agreed at the beginning of the year, let's invest in a meeting structure that allows us to get better, mutually better. There were some things that Coach wanted to see us do, and there were some things that we wanted to see Coach do. So we met 5 times throughout the year, and let's better manage our media interactions. Let's get more involved in the community. Let's be a better steward to how we represent Marshall football, both of us, all of us. Let's just grow together and become really successful and try to build a championship season. And, one of those caveats was let's not, negotiate during the season, and let's not interview for other jobs. And at some point, the schools that reached out to Coach, I think he just felt through his agency that he had to go on those interviews, and he started to do that. And there was a handful of them, and I was made aware all along the way. They were so transparent, and they definitely informed us of their opportunities. And certainly I knew weeks before that Southern Miss was actively pursuing them. And, but we had made an agreement that we would wait till the end of the season and that we wouldn't negotiate during the season. We would focus on winning a championship. So that's where we remained. And then it happened. And he had an opportunity, and we were going to move quickly and be prepared for our next coach.
There you have it. Again, those are the comments of Marshall Athletic Director Christian Spears. Hopefully that answers your question on that one. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our text line to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. What do you think? Did you get everything you wanted and needed out of that? And you're ready to move on for the introductory press conference on Thursday? Or is there some things out there that you kind of still want clarification on, you need answered, or you just like to have addressed? Again, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, sometimes the cash is greener on the other side. Absolutely. I appreciate the text. Thank you for that. It's true. Sometimes you're looking for the better opportunity. Sometimes you're looking for the better payday. And you're going to see that across the board. It's not going to change. The genie is out of the bottle. And coaches are going to look for the best opportunity, obviously. There will be some that will take a job, and this is the job. I'm going to make it happen here. I want to be here. And for others, I want to be elsewhere. So I'll be here until I can get there, and I'll take this journey and this path to get there, and I'll start here. Same thing with players. I perform well, I'm getting more notice. Okay, then I'm going to come here. All right, I perform well, I'm getting more notice. I can move up now. I'm going to go there. We're going to see players transfer in and out every year, and that's where I think a lot of disconnect is happening because you don't watch these players grow 3, 4, 5 years as players for the Thundering Herd. They're rentals, a lot of them. They come in, they do the job, and then they leave for the next job. They're rentals. And there are some players, like I say, Logan Osborne, who's a pretty special guy. I mean, you can look at some of these guys and know, hey, that's a pretty special guy. He's wanting to stay here. This is where he wants to be. And for others, it's, hey, this is a great place. I'm going to get everything I need out of this place. And then if it works for me, I might stay. But if it works elsewhere for me, I'm going elsewhere. And that's going to be the nature of the beast from here on out. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 here from the text line. Texter says, Paul, we got our money's worth with Coach Huff. He delivered what we asked for. Coaches come and coaches go. I just think we could have done better than Coach Gibson, who was the architect of many a porous defense at West Virginia, and fans and supporters calling for his removal. This past year at NC State, his defense ranked near the bottom of their conference. We could have found better. Appreciate the text. I don't have those numbers in front of me. I'm sure some of you do. But he's the coach now. He is the coach, and we'll find out Thursday why, according to Christian Spears, he's the guy. So we'll get his complete take on that. Final segment coming up. Your text at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Milton, Russ McRae, 304-743-9318. And in Lavallette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555.
Hey, Lex, I got a question for you about our friends over at K&B Pest Control.
Shoot.
Do you think they'll eliminate my mother-in-law?
I think so.
She's in the house, kind of pesky.
From what I understand, they'll kill for your business, so you might want to have a talk.
No, these guys are great, man. Locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state area. Free estimates, highly skilled staff. There's specialized training and inspections and solutions. So no matter what's going on, they'll figure it out. They'll find out where these pests are coming from, and they will eliminate them.
Yep, and you can even do comparisons with their Facebook page. They got real pest pics. This is when the critters start coming out, Terrence, so if you're seeing problems like they have on their Facebook page, call 304-523-4281.
Go ahead and ask for Patrick or Becca. They will hook you up. Promise. We promise you it's KNBPestControl.com. Go ahead and hit them up online as well. K&B Pest Control, they will kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's. The Italian place to be.
Sue's Junk and Antique Mall now offers gift cards. The perfect gift for the hard to buy. Stop into Sue's, located 459 Cameron Road, Huntington, West Virginia, and shop over 250 vendors. Open 7 days a week, Sue's Junk and Antique Mall, where the odds and ends become your new favorite gems.
You just can't stop once you've tried Scraggle Pop. Scraggle Pop kettle corn has become a favorite snack throughout the tri-state area, and they are now expanding beyond. This Christmas season, come visit Scraggle Pop at the Huntington Mall, the Ashland Town Center, Food Fair, and a number of great tri-state retailers. They have an assortment of delicious flavors like cinnamon, caramel, Chicago blend, and of course the original blend of kettle corn that started it all. Grab your favorite kettle corn blend along with a frozen sweet tea, lemonade, or hot apple cider. Take home a beautiful Christmas tin for yourself or as a gift for family and friends. Scraggle Pop also offers many sports team tins for the sports fan in your life. So check them out today at the Huntington Mall or the Ashland Town Center. Scraggle Pop now ships nationwide. Visit their website at scragglepop.com to send your loved ones a tin of their favorite flavor. You just can't stop once you've tried Scraggle Pop. ScragglePopKettlecorn.com.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour is going to be 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I'm going to give you a chance to grab a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Herd take on Ohio coming up on Saturday at the Cam Henderson Center. We'll announce our winners after the show, so stay by your phones and wait for the golden text. And again, all you have to do is text to win. That's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. As we just mentioned, there's a basketball game coming up Saturday at home, but there's also going to be a basketball game tomorrow. Marshall going to be at Wright State. That's coming up at 6 o'clock tomorrow. That's when we take the air right here and on 93.7 The Dog. As the Thundering Herd are looking to find some success on the road. We've talked a lot about football. Let's talk a little bit about basketball with Coach Jackson. As we lead into this game this week and the game on Saturday, what are some of the things that Coach Jackson has been pleased with so far? And maybe what are some of the things that Coach Jackson hasn't been pleased with so far? Here's his take on that question.
Well, I've been pretty pleased with our fight for the most part. A few games we got down. Toledo game we got down, we fought back. This UNCW game we got down, we fought back. Western Kentucky. So again, I'm pleased with our fight. We obviously doing some good things. We're playing hard. We're focused on the last few games, playing really hard without fouling. Pleased with that. But again, I wish we would shoot the ball better. I know I sound like a broken record, but if you look at last game, we missed 14 free throws and we're shooting 26 from 3 and 68 from the free throw line. So, again, we have to just step up, show some mental toughness, and knock our shots down. Like Paul said, we're getting the right looks. I'm not disappointed with our looks. I'm not disappointed with our shot selection. These guys all can shoot the basketball. They've proven that throughout practices. And when they're open, I want them to shoot it, regardless of what the percentage say. When they're open, I want them to shoot the basketball.
He's right. I think the looks are good. I think they're getting plenty of good looks, good opportunities that just haven't been going in. And he was asked about that. Is that contagious? When you get hot, you really infect the rest of the team. When you kind of get cold, it infects the rest of the team. And Coach Jackson talked a little bit about the mental focus of this team.
I think that's kind of normal, right? You see teams that are really good shooting teams. One or two guys get going, and then the rest of the guys feel like it's going. You're right. And same thing when you miss shots, right? You have a couple guys that miss shots or a couple guys that usually make them. When you start missing them now you start praying them, trying to pray them in, right? And I trust me, I believe in prayer, but I don't know about praying in shots, right? So again, it's about just having a mental focus. Again, it's a fine line. You don't want to talk too much about it because that's the last thing we want is guys thinking about shots. We want guys playing, right? All of our guys have played at high levels in difficult environments. We have big-time experience. It's just about stepping up and knocking it down. If I had to answer, Paul, I would wave the magic wand today in practice, and it'll stay with us the rest of the season. But again, we want our guys to be confident. We want them to take the shots when they're open, as long as they're quality shots, and we are confident that we will start knocking some down.
I'm handing out magic wands now. That's my side gig to kind of supplement what I do here. There is no magic wand there, even though I'm hawking them now. 3 for 5 here. If I had a magic wand, I could fix a lot of things as well. So the mental focus, that's going to be a big issue for the team moving forward. And I did ask, do you think that maybe the team's kind of forcing some of the shots? The looks are good, but are they forcing it a little bit, trying to, make that perfect shot, make that perfect 3? Okay, hey, we got to catch up here, so, I got to start hitting 3s. You see an available 3 and you take it. He likes the looks. There was only a couple of shots that he really, in the last game, thought that was really questionable, and he expanded on that.
We took a couple. I was watching film in the office yesterday afternoon, and I counted like 2 questionable shots. And when I say questionable, kind of contested at the 3. So no, not really. I mean, if you have an open shot, make it. That's why we recruit you here. We believe in you. We're not gonna push you to the side because you missed a few shots, right? I'm a parent, and my kids have done some things in their 23 years of living that disappointed me, and I'm not going to just throw them out to the wolves just because they can't make a shot. So we believe in these guys. We believe in them. We want them to be confident. As long as we're getting good shots, we'll be good. We'll be able to knock them down. I'm confident in that.
That's Coach Jackson Marshall taking on Wright State. We're going to have that game for you tomorrow. It's a 6 o'clock airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog. So we'll talk a little bit more basketball with you tomorrow. Obviously, we've got a game coming up on Friday, so stay by your phone right now. I'm going to give you an opportunity to win those tickets. We got a 4-pack we're giving you, and since we are blessed this week, we got another 4-pack we're going to give you. So I'm going to make 2 of you winners today. I want to thank everyone who's texted in, and for those of you listening, and if you haven't done so yet, I would appreciate it. Do me a favor. Give me a follow on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. Also, do me a favor, and if you would, if you like downloading the podcast from time to time, do me a favor and hit the subscribe, the like button, follow, whatever the button is for you, and have the show come to you. So if there's a chance you can't listen, you like to listen to it on your time, and that's perfectly fine. You can have it delivered to your device anytime. All you have to do is go to wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever podcast player that you use. And if you like, subscribe, that would really help me immensely. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Tomorrow, we'll be back with another opportunity to win tickets, and we're going to make some winners right now. So thanks for everyone tuning in. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.